Hola, los amigos.
Hola amigos.
Welcome to another VanTech Tuesday with special guest Greg Virgoe.
Hello everyone.
So we've amalgamated all your questions over the last week from email, Instagram and YouTube, and we're going to split the questions and maybe some we'll answer together, sort of thing.
Sure.
So Greg's going to do the first few. Which is best, Greg? Is it one 200 amp hour battery, for example, or two 100 amp hour batteries connected together?
Okay, I think the easiest way is if you've got two batteries, it will give you some resilience. I know they're probably slightly more expensive to put two in, but if you have one that breaks down, you've still got one that you can use. So there's no right or wrong answer. One will do the job, but two would be better.
Yeah. Second question on that one is, if you're connecting multiple batteries together, what cable size would you use to connect them together?
Okay, right, what you need to do is add up the load of all your appliances in your van in watts, divide that by 12, and then that'll give you in total amps, assuming that everything's running at the same time. And then the cables that you want to connect your van, your batteries together with, must be able to cope with that total load. So
it's got a little chart which is available online. It's not just Greg's special chart, it's like the law on amps, watts and volts, but there are certain cables you've got to use depending on that load, so it's important you calculate the load correctly.
Okay, so just to give you an idea, 16mm cable's good for 110 amps, 25mm cable's good for 170 amps, a 35mm cable's good for 240 amps, and 50mm cable's good for 345 amps. And bear in mind that your cable's always got to be rated greater than your fuse rating.
So for example, on the inverters we're running, 2 kilowatt inverter, the fuse on that alone is like, what is it?
200 amps?
Yeah, 200 amps. So you always got to make sure your cable's
240 amps or 250 amps thereabout.
So there you go. Next few questions are related to my van, so I'll do them. What are the black panels on the cab roof? They're sound deadening panels, and it's part of a sound deadening sort of package. I added some absorption panels that go on the inside of the doors, which are kind of you know, the usual deadening mat, kind of the many different types out there. I also added extra door seals and the foam panels you can see on the top of the roof, and it really helps cut down the road noise. The next one is, what dash cam do I use? And it is the Nextbase 512 GW, and I found it's pretty good. If you watched our video a few weeks back about going through the flood water, the only camera that was running at the time was the dash cam, and it caught everything on there pretty good, so that was alright. The next one, I'll let you answer this one. Have you used a 12 volt kettle?
Well, basically a simple answer for that is avoid 12 volt electric heating for anything, whether it's space heating, cooking or kettles or anything of that. I would personally anyway, because it uses so much power from your leisure batteries. Electric heating is very sort of inefficient, so I would always suggest using an alternative source like LPG.
As a bit of addition to that, we did try it many months ago, and it took around about 20 minutes for the water just to possibly reach boiling point. Mandy tried to make a brew out of it and it was not nice, so we gave up on that one. The next question for you, Greg, is how do you find hotels and pubs that allow you to stay overnight?
Well, the simple thing is, obviously, you either ring ahead and see if they'll let you park in there, or as soon as you turn up, what we've done before is we've gone inside, and before you've even brought a drink or a meal or whatever, just ask the landlord or the person behind the bar if it's okay if you camp overnight. And generally 9 times out of 10, if you're having a drink or a meal there, it's usually fine.
Yeah, we've not had any issues with that either. The next one is kind of related to us. How are you getting on with the collapsible pans, and did you get a collapsible kettle? We didn't bother with the kettle because Mandy preferred the hard kettle. The collapsible pans are fantastic. It's amazing what silicon can put up with the heat and stuff like that. Absolutely brilliant. So I've been using probably for about a month now and no issues at all with them. And the other one's kind of me, it's related to Cooper, and it's how do we secure Cooper when we're traveling? Do we use harnesses or a cage? We did try him in a cage a long time ago and he didn't like that at all, so we now use a full harness that goes around the upper part of his front torso, and then we've got a seatbelt, because our van's got 4 seatbelts, so the 2 seats behind the drivers and the passenger seat at the front have got seatbelts on them. We secure him with a normal dog car seatbelt adapter, and that clips around that harness, and it pretty much allows him to move maybe like a foot at the most around that spot. And he sits on his dog bed, lies down, and whilst he doesn't like travelling, it's safe, he can't go anywhere. The next one is for Greg. How do you find park-ups? For example, Park for Nights, Google Maps or Friends?
Yeah, it's a combination of those. We use Park for Night quite a lot. We find that very helpful with the reviews that people have left, so you know whether the campsite you're going to is good or not. We also use Google Maps. We just type in or search a satellite view on Google Maps just to find little parking spots like that. And lastly, we use the Airs books as well as a bit of a fallback, because you can always find, you know, a motorhome Air that you can park in. They may not be very scenic, but it'll get you out of trouble.
Yeah. Here's another one for you. No funny answers though. I did giggle when I found this question. How do you clean your solar panels when you're travelling?
Oh, that would be quite tricky, really. I guess they mean like when you're stationary. Yeah. Well, we've got one of those collapsible aluminium ladders that just folds down to next to nothing, put it in the garage at the back, and then when we're parked up, just get it out, extend it, and quite easily clean the solar panels. I mean, you'll see in my videos, I'm cleaning my solar panels quite regularly.
And it is a massive benefit to do that as well. Absolutely. I look on the roof the other day for both of ours, we need to clean them. Even just a bird drop or something like that, if it's in the middle of a cluster of your solar panel, you can drop off maybe, you know, 30% of your solar collection then, so definitely worth it. Here's another one that's a bit kind of like a bit of both of us, and it is, which are the best windows to put in your camper conversion? Bonded windows or caravan style windows? So I'll let you go on that one first.
Well, I'm going to be, even though I've got bonded windows, the best ones are the caravan style, because they're double glazed, you've got a bit more insulation and you won't suffer with condensation. However, I went for bonded windows just because I think they look a bit better, because they don't look like a caravan. You know, it fits the style of the van a bit more, but then you do get some issues with condensation when it's really cold.
Yeah, they're more stylish, the bonded ones, aren't they? And you can obviously get the little ones that have, like Dave's got with the sliding windows. But on a really hot day, we can open our windows fully. They come out like that, sort of like, you know, 90 degrees, so you can get loads of breeze in the van. The downside is there are people out there that'll tell you that they're so easy just to rip them off the side of the van and break into. Saying that, I guess you could chuck a brick in a bonded window. Yeah,
exactly. If somebody's going to break in, they are just going to smash your window at the end of the day.
So, sorry, that doesn't really answer your question, but I hope you've given point of view. The next one, Greg's not kind of like worked this one out, but somebody asked me, and that is, how many amp hours do you use a day on your electrical system? And the only way I've been able to tell that is for the BVM. It detects kind of like, you know, usage over a period, and it depends if we use things like the Instant Pot and the kettle. So I'll give you an average. It's somewhere between 25 to 30 if we don't use anything on the inverter, and around 50 to 60 if we do use the inverter. So I hope that helps. Another question from our mate Mel.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, welcome to Mel's World.
Hello, Mel.
He said in the last video the microphone was brilliant. Have you got a new one? If so, which one is it? Sorry, Mel, it's just the Osmo Action. So nothing special about it at all, mate. But hi, Mel. The next one, I guess, is a bit for both of us. Do you use a split charger?
Yeah, now I bought a split charger right at the start of our build, and I've actually run the cables in. But when I come to buy my batteries, they advised me, because the different battery types, they advised me not to use the split charger. And I have got plans to put a battery to battery charger in later on, but currently I'm not running anything at all, just 100% solar.
And as you know from recent battery issues I've had, I did put the Sterling 30 amp battery to battery charger in, which instantly set itself up brilliant, says, oh yeah, I recognise you've got AGM, so I'll give you the right profile, the right charge and things like that, and that's been absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's the one I can recommend anyway.
I think the key point is that a lot of alternators, especially new modern smart alternators, they don't give the right charge profile for leisure batteries.
No.
So you do have to be careful.
Yeah, and they're shut down and often a lot, which can cause problems with the system, where a battery to battery charger will kind of like compensate for that. So the next one, I'm going to go ask Greg on this one, because it's a bit of another kind of divisive, kind of opinionated topic, and is, do you earth bond your incoming hookup cable, your 230 volt hookup cable, to your van chassis?
Yeah, this is a number of different answers to this really, but from my point of view, the way I looked at it was, well, my van's not earthed because it's sitting on rubber tyres, so it's not like a house as such. The van body is used by the auto electric system as a negative return to the van battery, so that's not really an earth either, it's a negative path. So what I've done in my van is I've connected all of my 230 volt earths and any of those appliances back to an earth bar, and then I've bonded that earth bar back to my mains hookup. So if I'm on a campsite and on a hookup, I'm earthed back through that hookup cable. That's how I've dealt with it.
Which is probably the same protection you get in a house anyway, isn't
exactly,
it? So that's it. Yeah. And off the same of that one, I'm not going to answer that one because I have done it. So all my sockets are earthed basically to the chassis of the van, and I don't think it helps either way or whatever, but essentially I'm still earthed to the earth cable that comes in on the hookup as well. So the next question is kind of related to that, is have you also earthed your gas pipes?
I didn't actually bond any of the gas pipes, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm going to be only up on this one. As you know, with our van, it's a factory built van, so I've not put any of the gas appliances in. I've seen them, checked them, had to mess around with some of them, but they are all earthed to the chassis of the van, so it's not something I did. But if that gives you any kind of help, that's what the manufacturers seem to do.
I mean, if you're going to earth all of your copper pipes in your van, then you do need to put your earth system to the van as well. Yeah. For continuity on that.
Yeah. So there we go. Thank you very much, Greg.
Yeah, no problem. Enjoyed it, mate.
Can I have a beer now?
Yeah, excellent.
See you later, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.
Bye.